Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Jean-Marie Mognetti, CEO of CoinShares, to discuss the demand for Bitcoin and why it's not going anywhere. Jean-Marie, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you, Jill. Nice to be here.
Would you say that the sentiment for Bitcoin is as bullish as ever?
The sentiment around Bitcoin right now has never been so bullish. CoinShares has quite a start for 2021. In the first 2 weeks of January, our asset management business, XBT provider, hit a new all-time high of 3.9 billion. And along that, there is plenty of data points to support that. You get Guggenheim searching for a way to allocate to Bitcoin and predicting the 400 grand price of Bitcoin. You get Citibank coming with very bullish price prediction around 200 grand. Ruffer, a very conservative allocator in the UK, committing around 700 million before December. And at CoinShares, we see a constant demand coming to our investor relation desk, asking for new product, new form of investing, and how we can have access to this thematic. So the demand is here and the sentiment is very bullish.
Well, it certainly is encouraging to see that the demand is there. And you also noted that there are only 21 million Bitcoin and 47 millionaires, which means there isn't even enough Bitcoin for every millionaire to own one Bitcoin. So it sounds like there'll be a floor in it for that reason now that institutions own it and want to own it. Is there any logic to that?
Yeah, there is a logic. The number of Bitcoin supply is algorithmically programmed, and you can't change it. I've been trading Bitcoin since 2013, and realistically, what we're seeing now is never seen before. We've seen some interesting rally in 2016. We see some interesting rally in 2020 and 2021 now, but the dynamic of this rally keep changing. It used to be fueled before by derivative market, and now we see a market really fueled by the spot market and the cash market. To give you a couple of examples, the amount of Bitcoin traded on the cash market has been multiplied by 7 since August. And this kind of imbalance in offer and demand is just fueling this permanent demand for Bitcoin. As you mentioned, the number of millionaires versus how many there are, an even more interesting stat is like there's 21 million Bitcoin and only 21 million millionaires in North America. And 21 million Bitcoin without accounting all the ones which are lost. So there's even less than that. And that imbalance is creating this fear of missing out, and people are looking for a way to get their hand on it.
Yeah, it was interesting. We saw a number of articles this week where people forgot their passcodes and weren't able to retrieve that Bitcoin. So you're right, there are some that are floating out there that is taking away from the supply. What are you seeing at CoinShares in terms of activity?
Well, the activity as CoinShares is very busy. Like our desk, phone, and our traders are very busy. I think our 4th of January trading day on our ETP business was our most busy day on intraday volume, around 200 million, which was a fantastic day for us in terms of product adoption, but also a great day for Nasdaq OMX because to see all this volume on such a great product, which was an innovative one for Nasdaq OMX. But this stuff is not happening only for us. You can see it everywhere in the market. You can see the volume on CME, which are starting to pick up very strongly, indicating this transition from a more retail approach demand to something much more institutional. You can see the trading hours changing as well. Like you used to get a lot of Asian trading time because the demand was much more retail from Asia to something much more institutional, where the trading hours are moving toward Europe. And you get some interesting metrics around that. When the CME launched a future back in 2017, there was very little future merchant broker who were authorizing you to trade this Bitcoin future. And now there is more and more adopting. And as a result, you get year-on-year doubling of the turnaround on this product, but you also get the large open interest of holder increasing to number which are very interesting because they're starting to compete and approaching number which are towards the one you will see for gold or the one you will see for crude oil. So we're not there yet. It's still a ratio of 1 to 3, but the progression is certainly indicating that we're moving in the right direction.
And speaking of gold, to wrap up here, I mean, Bitcoin's constantly being compared to gold as a store of value and inflation hedge and so forth. Do you think Bitcoin's market cap could ever exceed that of gold's?
Oh, so I know, you're probably referring to the quote from the CIO of BlackRock. If one CIO, the world's largest one, asset manager, could quote something about Bitcoin, is probably this one. And I think there was a discussion around how Bitcoin will be replacing gold allocation in the new generation allocation thematic versus gold, and that's a very interesting stuff we're saying. To take some simple metrics, there is market cap of digital asset is a tenth of the market cap of gold. So there is still a lot of work to be done in that direction. And there was an analysis a couple of months ago, or weeks ago now, sorry, about probably Bitcoin stealing 7 points of market cap from the gold market cap. I think this was a bit of a push. I think it's more around 2% because analysis was missing a couple of fundamental points around Bitcoin, like all the lost Bitcoin in the market. So in a short way, you can say yes, there is a transition for some people from allocating purely to gold to allocating to a mix of gold and Bitcoin. And at CoinShares, we created this index called with Imperial College, which is actually allowing you to allocate in a very dynamic way between gold and Bitcoin.
All right, Jean-Marie, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.